1,000-word personal life advice story in English, written as a reflective experience. The bench at the end of the street. I used to pass by the same street corner every day on my way to work. It wasn't special, just another block in a city filled with too many people and not enough time. But there was a bench at the end of that street, under a crooked tree whose roots cracked the pavement. I never paid attention to it until the day everything in my life started to fall apart. That day I lost my job, not because I was lazy or incompetent, but because the company was downsizing. It's not personal, they said. Of course, it never is, until you're the one packing up your things in a cardboard box. I walked out of the office building with nowhere to go and too much noise in my head. Out of habit, I took the same route home. But when I reached the end of the street, I stopped. The bench was empty, shaded by the old tree, and for the first time in years, I sat down. I didn't expect anyone to talk to me, but someone did. An old man, probably in his late 70s, sat beside me as though it was the most natural thing in the world. He wore a faded cap and a beige jacket that looked like it had seen better days. "Rough day?" he asked. I nodded. I didn't want to talk, but something about his voice, soft, weathered, kind, made me answer. "I just lost my job." He didn't offer me sympathy. He just looked ahead and said, "I lost mine too, 40 years ago." I turned to him, surprised. "I was a factory manager," he said, "thought I'd retire there, then the plant closed. Took my pride with it." "What did you do?" I asked. He smiled. "At first, I drank, got angry, blamed the world. You know how it goes. But then, slowly, I learned the truth. Life isn't about keeping what you have, it's about finding what you're meant to give." I didn't understand what he meant, not then. But I listened. He came to that bench every day, he told me. After losing his job, he started writing letters, real letters, to his grandchildren. Then to strangers, notes of encouragement. He would leave them on trains, in cafes, tucked into library books. "Words can be a gift," he said, "and gifts don't cost money, they cost attention." Over the next few weeks, I kept coming back to that bench. The job search was tough. No one was hiring someone with my experience, and my confidence was fading. But the old man, his name was Walter, kept me grounded. He told me stories, gave me books, and reminded me that purpose isn't always tied to a paycheck. One day I asked him, "How do you stay so positive?" He chuckled. "I'm not always. Some days I wake up and feel like the world's passed me by. But then I remind myself, as long as I'm breathing, I can still be useful, even if it's just by listening to someone like you." That hit me hard, so I started volunteering at a local community center. Nothing fancy, just helping kids with homework, listening to the elderly, serving food at events. And slowly, without realizing it, I began to feel alive again. Not because I had money or success, but because I was needed. That's when I realized what Walter meant. Life isn't about what you achieve for yourself, it's about what you leave behind in others. A year later, I got a new job. It paid less than my old one, but gave me time to keep volunteering. I still walked past that bench, but Walter wasn't there anymore. One day I found a note in the spot where he used to sit. It read, "If you're reading this, thank you. You reminded me that even in my last chapter, I could still help someone start a new one. Pass it on." I never saw him again. I don't know if he moved away or passed on, but his advice stayed with me, etched deeper than any lesson I ever learned in school or at work. So here's my advice. If you're feeling lost, your job doesn't define your worth. Listen more than you speak. Help someone without expecting anything in return. And don't be afraid to sit still once in a while, especially on a quiet bench at the end of a street. That's where life might just start talking back.